We did it.
We did it, man. We got World Cup fever right now.
I got World Cup fever, aka I've been bored all month, and it's a great time to be bored.
Yep. Good time of year. It's hot.
It's a lot of soccer going on that I don't care about, but I do because I don't have anything else going on in my life.
Do you have a lot of friends that are into soccer?
No one.
You define friends.
Well, I got into soccer because I toured with John Oliver, and he loves Liverpool so much that I started to like Liverpool. It's contagious. And then they made it really far in this Champions League thing, and then I watched that, and then right after that, finished the World Cup started, and I was like, I'm already in the mood. So, and also I don't have a lot going on, so it was perfect timing.
What's it like touring with John Oliver? Good dude?
He's the best. He's he's the nicest guy ever. I texted with him during the game, but I won't text with him for a while because England just lost.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give him some space. He really
digs soccer a lot.
Yeah.
So I hope Liverpool wins.
Like people who take that seriously, like genuinely seriously, like it's a respect thing to like give them time.
Yeah. He considers himself a failed soccer player.
Really?
Like he wanted to play for Liverpool. Yeah. So he doesn't consider himself successful at all. It's really funny.
Did you used to play sports growing up?
I grew up wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah. In Iowa, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. I have that's where all my mom's side of the family is from.
What town?
Des Moines.
Oh, they're from the big city.
I guess.
No,
I mean,
it is.
in comparison. By proxy. Yeah.
By like 500,000 people compared to mine. And 500,000 people live in that town.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Croatia just won, and they have 4 million people. That's like the state of Iowa has like 4 million people. So that's like mind blowing to me that like the state of Iowa is in the World Cup finals. That's how I compare it. Like, that's how many people live in Ireland. It's nuts.
So you're like, my team has finally made it to the World Cup.
I mean, sure. Yeah. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to Croatia. It's great. It's much better than England.
When did you go to Croatia?
I just went on a road trip with a lady. I was with a babe I had met, and we drove through Croatia, like up to Bosnia. It was super fun.
Whoa.
It was dope.
You've traveled a lot. Like I followed you over the years, like on your Instagram.
With money. Like if I have it, I spend it.
But I feel like that's a better way to live than like somebody who...
I don't know. My friends have houses now. So I'm going to disagree. Like I'm 31 and I'm like, oh shit. Like I got to hope this cartoon I'm on gets picked up for another season. Cause I got a trip planned to New Zealand that I can't afford right now.
You're already spending the money in your head.
I already have the trip planned. I already bought the tickets. I mean, I have the money now, but like I need money to live when I come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, Croatia was really nice and it was a lot of great memories. So
are they friendly to locals?
We were.
To out of towners.
I didn't go to any of the cities. I didn't go to like Grezib or whatever, or Split, this island, or Dubrovnik. I went up into these to waterfalls, which is tourist based. So they are nice to tourists because that's what brings them their money, and they let you swim in waterfalls. It's great. They're national parks. They're like, go nuts. Versus like ours are kind of more regulated.
Can you do like a Croatian accent? I don't even know what that sounds like. Is it close to Jamaican-ish?
I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what language they speak. Like, and I was there for but I was like going all through Europe. I came from Italy. I don't know. I mean,
I wonder if
it's a Slavic language. It's part of the Yugoslavia a while ago. Look, I don't know a lot about. I just know that they got dope waterfalls and it's fun.
That's something that I've not I guess I haven't done too much traveling like outside of the country. So, but I have not seen many waterfalls. I've seen like a lot of, I don't know, like I guess a lot of comedians, like whenever they travel, like a waterfall is like a destination whenever you travel. And I see a lot of videos of people like playing in waterfalls and stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like waterfalls, but I've never seen anything like Croatia. Croatia is where they film King's Landing in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
So that's Croatia. Is like these beautiful waterfalls, and Dubrovnik is King's Landing, like that city. Like that's where they shoot it all.
Wow.
So it's just like ridiculous.
My dad, after
I'm not an expert either. I just enjoy being there more than England.
Yeah. My dad, after Lord of the Rings came out, and at the end of credits it says like filmed in New Zealand. from that point forward, like since then, he thinks every movie is filmed in New Zealand. Like any beautiful scenery, he's like,
Really?
that must have been filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah, I like that. I enjoy that. What state did you grow up in?
I grew up in Kansas.
Okay, what's the big Kansas movie for you? Like, what's the movie that happened that they filmed in Kansas that you're like, yeah, like we have the Field of Dreams for Iowa.
What a great movie.
I still don't think I've ever seen the whole thing. I hate it so much.
Why?
It gives Iowans too much pride. Like there's literally a line where a ghost or whatever is like, is this heaven? And then Kevin Costner's like, no, this is Iowa. And I'm like, and Iowans love that. And I'm like, fuck you. No one's been in Iowa and has been like, I'm sorry, did I die and go to heaven? Because it's fine. It's not heaven fine. So I'm annoyed with the Field of Dreams.
Well, dude,
Plus, I worked next to the Field of Dreams. It's a fucking tourist trap. It still exists.
Dude, what if you get to heaven
and it's Iowa?
Brooks.
Oh no, I died in the middle of Jeremiah's podcast and I'm in heaven right now.
Welcome to heaven.
God, your voice sounds strangely like how we thought the devil might sound.
No.
Okay.
It sounds much lighter.
Okay. I mean, it seems like you fixed it a little bit. Sure.
I mean, just a little bit.
Well, this is crazy how I immediately get to talk to you.
Yeah. Brooks.
Yeah, shoot. I don't know what happened. I must have been electrocuted.
You were electrocuted. You were working on some art in your garage. And that's how you got here.
Oh, wow. Okay. I must have blacked out during Jeremiah's podcast and then went home and started an art career.
This is the future.
Oh, I thought this happened.
Hasn't happened yet.
No, all right. Okay. Crazy.
Because, like we were like saying like, what if like, you died and then
yeah, but then you went, I was improving that I had just died right now and had just died and gone to heaven.
Okay. So I guess you just died right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to heaven. You just died right after in the middle of Jeremiah Wonders.
That's nuts God, this is crazy. I was just doing a bit.
Wait,
with
what kind of bit were you doing?
I was doing a bit about what if I died, and now I did die, and now I'm in heaven. That's crazy. This is like
it's a very meta situation that's happening
it's so
right now.
weird to me.
Yeah.
How's it going though? Like I'm glad I got into heaven.
It's good. I sound like this because some people don't know what gender I am still.
Sure. No, this is a crapshoot for me to get up here. I wasn't mean, but I also quit going to church a while ago. So.
But you affected people in a positive way.
And I refuse to ever say I'm not Catholic. So that's not even at like gunpoint. I'm like, I'm a Catholic. Like I just have to because I'm scared of this situation.
Props to my boy Brooks.
Thanks so much. So Catholicism was the correct religion? Make a definitive statement, please.
I'll have to get back to you on that.
All right, good call. Cover your bases.
Well, you may proceed into the fields over here.
Oh, fucking shit.
And there's a baseball team right over
God
there.
damn it. Are you serious?
Well, don't say that. You're the president.
I can say it to you. I'm saying it to you.
I guess we're friends now. I guess you can totally say that.
It's like saying, Jeremiah, damn it, when I'm mad at something he did. I'm just upset that you made heaven kind of look like this 1990s movie about Iowa.
But there's some great baseball players around.
No, they're ghosts. They're ghosts. They just creep me out. I guess now I'm a ghost. Son of a buck.
I mean, you're more of a spirit that's floating into the ether.
I'm not even good at baseball. Like, this is a terrible place for me to live. Like, I guess I'll play right field, bat sometimes.
Hey, Brooks, do you want to play shortstop? It's Joe DiMaggio.
I wish I could, Joe. I would really goof, though. I'm not lying. It would be a mistake. I want the team to win. I know where I belong. It's in right field or rover if we're playing with 10 people behind second base.
Are you a lefty or a righty?
I'm a neither. I never hit the ball out of the fucking infield. It's terrible. I did not have a good baseball career.
Do you want to be third base coach?
That actually sounds kind of nice. Yeah.
Done. Welcome to your eternity as a third base coach.
Oh, I could live with this. I could just watch people play baseball, which I enjoy, and then be like, go home.
There's unlimited amount of Cracker Jacks in heaven too.
Ugh, No thanks.
Nachos and beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have to count my calories up here?
No.
Oh, man. You did it right, God.
You're in heaven.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thanks, God. This is very exciting.
Goodbye for now.
I'll see you later, man. I think we got a game at 2, so if you want to watch.
Brooks, where did you go?
I died for a second, but now I'm back. That was crazy. I must have had a near-death experience.
Dude, I don't know what just happened exactly, but your eyes kind of rolled back into the back of your head, and it was very scary. You started seizing and foaming at the mouth a little bit.
I think I'm allergic to water, to be honest. Like, I never
Is
really
that what
drink.
it is? You know what it is? I think it's that Ralph's water. I think it, they had a callback on it recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you should say that, though, just from your own, because Ralph sponsors this podcast, right?
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Proud sponsor, Jeremiah Wonders. Ralph's. Rock and roll Ralph's on Sunset.
Exactly. Somebody told me that they saw, like, Slash passed out at, like, Ralph's in that, like, aisle one time. Like, not long ago.
And that's how it got its actual name.
It might not. It was just like one grocery store over there. They're like, Slash was just like laying in the ground.
Like before that, they didn't have the window decals of the guitars and different instruments. But then they saw Slash and they're like, "This is rock and roll Ralph's."
Or maybe that's what drew Slash like a bug to a flame, or a moth to a flame. Like
I guess so.
It's like a bug zapper for cool rock stars.
What do you think? What do you think Slash does for fun?
I think he drinks.
You think he drinks?
Yeah. I think he just drinks and then fucking wails on the guitar.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think, my caller ID is reading. I think Slash is actually calling in to the show right now.
Oh,
Hello, Slash?
Hey, Jeremiah, it's me, Slash.
Hey, wow. Rock and roll legend Slash.
Yeah, Slash. That's my first and last name, Slash. Oh, man. Fucking hungover, though. I'll tell you that right now.
Have you been partying and playing music? What's been?
It's not even called partying if you never stop. It's just called living. I've been living, man.
Yeah?
I've been living pretty hard. I used to shop for whiskey at the Gelson's, which was over.
I'm sorry, Slash. You can't mention any other grocery stores' names on this podcast because Ralph's is
No,
actually.
I was explaining how I started shopping at Ralph's. Because I used to go to Gelson's. Gelson's.
Oh, you formerly.
Franklin Village, Gelson's.
Yeah.
Because I would always go to UCB shows. There's been trying to get on a fucking Herald team for 10 years now. I goddamn keep getting called back, never get on that Herald team. I took 501 8 times. Jerry O'Connell was in my fucking 201 class. It was nuts. But either way, I was hanging out at Gelson's. On the way to my Gelson's, cause before I took my 501 class, I kept giving those dorks my money. I fucking
Slash, you're telling me that you, the musician, the legend.
Yeah, I love improv comedy.
You've been taking classes at UCB
for about a decade. Yeah. Ever since they came over from New York, I've been a big fan of.
And you can't get on a Herald team? They won't like throw your weight around because you're a celebrity?
Look, man, I guess I'm not greasing the right palms over there. I don't know what to tell you, but I was also trying to explain is I used to always go to that Gelson's, right? It was nice Gelson's, fine Gelson's. You can't park there and go to UCB, which is a real nightmare. Parking's over there is crazy. I love that Uber showed up, but I was driving over there one day, to get my bottle of Jack Daniels that I get. It's weird that I go there, but I do. And so I was driving past Ralph's, right?
Right.
It used to just be normal. It used to be a normal Ralph's, and I see that they have cool guitars on the windows, and I was like, well, I should be going to this store. And I've been shopping there ever since. Sometimes I fall asleep in there. Nobody ever sees me, though.
So you just saw the window decals on the outside of Ralph's, and you're like, this seems like a good fit for me because I
play guitar.
You play guitar?
And they have a guitar on there.
Yeah.
So, that's why I go over there, and that's why I play guitar. I actually got back into playing guitar from going to that rock and roll Ralph's. Because I took a break to try to really break into the improv world. But I just can't I just keep saying, I just keep telling stories.
So Slash, let's say that we're in an improv scene together. We get a suggestion from the audience.
Okay. Let's try this out. All right, I've been working on this for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, if you said you've been taking 501 like multiple times, like
yes,
you should be pretty good if you've even gotten to that point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's we got a suggestion from the audience. What's that over there? Okay. I guess we're father and son. and we're at
Okay, father and son. Got
father
that.
and son,
I've got that.
and we're fishing.
All right. I had sex with Sharon Osbourne in 1988. Ozzy watched. It was totally whatever. See, that's my. I just tell great stories. I'm sorry.
But Dad, what does this?
We were on the Appetite for Destruction tour. Okay. And
Dad,
Ozzy's,
can you pass me the worms over there?
Motley Crue is for pussies. I'll tell you that right now. Motley Crue, those guys couldn't fucking party.
Dad, I need to put the worm
Heroin
on my.
junkies is what they should be called. Because look, it's not fun. Like Motley Crue is so boring. If you want to rock and roll, you know. Also,
I'm mad at you because you didn't buy me a bobber for my birthday.
I fought Bruce Springsteen's son in 1999 in front of him at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was in New York City. And he came up to me and said, Slash, I'm a fan. And I said, your dad's a bitch. And I just started wailing on him. And he was so upset. And Bruce Springsteen came over and he stopped me. And I said, you ain't the boss of me. And he put me in a chokehold and passed out very quickly. And then after that, I was like, you are the boss of me. But I still think he's a pussy.
Dad, do you prefer trout or largemouth bass?
Ronnie James Dio is an ultimate dominoes player. He was so good at dominoes. It's crazy. We were on tour together during the Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 tour. And he was like, do you want to play dominoes? And I was like, is this because I'm half black? And he said, well, yeah. And I said, all right, yeah, I do. You're right. I do want to play dominoes. And he beat the fuck out of me. I'll be honest. He knows how to play dominoes.
Dad, I don't think that the pound of resistance of the fishing line that we got is strong enough. We got 30 pound and we need at least 50 or 60 pound. What are we going to do?
We're going to reel that fish in. Here we go. Reeling the fish in and scene. I feel like I goofed up somewhere in the middle of that.
I was trying to be your son slashing it, and
I know.
I kept bringing up like different fishing scenarios.
This is what my teachers keep saying. They're
like you kind of went on a tyrant of story. I mean, they were fascinating stories. Slash.
Right? That's all that's important. Does the crowd have fun? The crowd have fun?
The crowd did have fun.
Right. They don't want to see a bunch of white dorks playing pretend. They want to hear Slash tell stories. So that's why I do what I do.
All right, Slash. Well, I wish you continued success with your UCB trials and tribulations.
Thank you so much. I'm also trying to get on a mod team as a writer, not a performer. I want to be on a mod team.
You just want to be behind the scenes? You don't want to be seen at all? You just want to contribute?
Yeah, I want to, but all my mod scene things that I read about is about how me and Scott Stapp
from Creed
used to fucking hang out, and but then it turns out that he's a dork. So I write like Scott Stapp was doing his homework, and Slash shows up, and flexes his muscles at Scott Stapp, and Scott Stapp, he's like this. Oh, you're so strong. And then Slash goes, that's right. And then he has sex with Scott Stapp's mom.
I think Scott Stapp is actually calling in to the show right now. Scott, you're on with Slash and Jeremiah
I haven't
Watkins.
talked to this fucker in a while. Shit. What? Is this Slash? Yeah. Is there Slash? Yeah, what do you want, dude? Well, I want to call you again. I don't like even talking to you because you never get out of character when your voices and your sings. And, well, I think it's all right. You got that lead singer bullshit where you think you're so fucking cool. You're actually a dork. I want to push you in a locker, man. Slash, I'm gonna fight you if you keep talking about the way you did about my mom. Your mom is a dumb bitch, Scott, and you know that. And when we had sex, and I tell you about it all the time, I write it into my mod acts. I don't know if you know that, but it's gonna be on television soon. Writing a pilot for Fuse. Called Scott Stapp's mom. See, it's super easy to have sex with because she's dumb. Then why wouldn't you call it the Stapp infection if you think my mom's a slut? She made me wrap it up. That'd be rude. She's clean. All right, well,
Slash, I think that you need to... This is me dropping persona right now, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate that for once.
Yeah. This is me being real with you.
Okay. Why don't you be real and go sing on a boat of a flooding city with a dumb music video, all right? Our music video was a rock and roll. We had Axel swimming with fucking dolphins. It was dope.
Well, maybe I'll go on top of a mountain, huh? What do you think about that?
I mean, if you can get high enough, I don't know. Look, that sounds hard.
I see what you did there, and I do not appreciate it.
Sure, yeah, I know like one of your songs, man, and I'm really got lucked into that one.
Hey, man, let's fight. Welcome to the jungle.
No, I don't want to play this game. I could name a bunch of my songs too, but I can't name your songs on account of your band stinks.
Well, I'm gonna welcome you with arms wide open back into my life, okay?
Can I Take You Higher? Is that a song of
That's
yours?
one of my hit songs.
Yeah, well,
Yes, it is.
I knew it. I called that one because I accidentally had on Y105 one day, and it came on. I had called in, and I said, "What the fuck was that? Don't ever do it again." And they said, "It's Scott Stapp's Can You Take Me Higher?" And I go, "Scott, I thought his band was called Creed." And they go, they don't even take credit for that one.
One time I had sex with your mom, and I took her to her knees.
Wait, you hurt my mom? You took her to her knees?
Yeah, I took her to her knees.
Sounds like sexual assault.
No. It was consensual. She got
down on her... It would
down
make more
on her...
sense if you say she went down on her knees. That's consensual. You took her down to her knees?
Okay, no. She went...
You're about to get Me Too'd out of this music
I already don't have a strong career right now. I don't need this at the moment.
Look, man, I gotta go to Rock and Roll Rouse. I'll talk to you later, nerd.
All right, see you later.
Wow, what a happening thing. How did that go down?
They didn't even let us interject. I actually had a lot of questions for Slash and Scott Stapp, but I think that they kind of had a lot of past history that they kind of need to get through themselves.
Sounds like it.
A lot of issues, man.
Yeah. And also, I wish Slash all the best at UCB 501.
Dude, I almost snorted and snotted everywhere whenever he said that he was trying to get on a mod team.
Yeah, no, he's big into UCB subculture.
For those of you who don't know, for these inside UCB references, a mod is a writing team at UCB. So Slash was just wanting to get on a team just to be a writer.
Just to be a writer,
not
just
perform.
To be a sketch writer for free UCB.
And a Herald team is like an improv team that he's been trying to get on, but I guess he's had no luck.
Well, it sounds like he's just excited to talk about his life. He should be doing a storytelling show.
See, that's what a lot of professional wrestlers do. Like after they've had their time in the ring, they can't fight anymore. Obviously, they go on the road like Jake the Snake, and they tell stories and different stuff like that, and it becomes like a popular thing. Maybe Slash might be into it.
Not mistakenly, I was in Boston on Monday, and Monday Night Raw was there, and I'm friends with Dolph Ziggler, who's the current Intercontinental champ, and I like drunk texted him too much to where I woke up in the morning and it was like I texted a girl that I felt embarrassed. I was like, oh, I texted Dolph too much. It was very embarrassing. And then he was nice. It wasn't like, but I still was like, you don't do that. Like,
hey Dolph, I had a little bit of a rough night last night.
I texted him. I was like, whoa, had a few drinks.
My bad.
Yeah, I think there was one selfie where I was giving him the finger. I thought that would be funny.
And just like you're seeing all this thread, and you're like, oh, there's no responses to any of these.
I felt either way. I was like, that's when I was like, maybe we should, why am I drunk texting other guys that I think are cool?
Hey man, I mean, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah, well, my girlfriend, like
whenever you're in that state, I mean, you probably are just like, who can I talk to that I think is cool?
I was with my girlfriend, and we were with our other friend Renee Young, who's an announcer at WWE. And then I was like, let's get Dolph out here. And then he was busy because he had obligations, and then it just turned into that.
Right.
But then my girlfriend was like, I'm like jealous that you're embarrassed that you texted him. I was like, well, I am. He's great.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy.
I mean, you could maybe learn something from him.
If you were the Intercontinental champ, maybe I would text you a little more, girlfriend. Who
I would send you selfies of me flipping you off.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You've been a wrestling fan for a while, right?
Or
did you get into
it? Smack on on that. I was a huge wrestling fan, giant wrestling fan for the Attitude Era. NWO, DX, super fun. And then I kind of fell off for a little bit. Then I came back in college because we thought for like when we were sophomores, like how funny would it be if we smoked weed and watched Monday Night Raw? And it was funny for like 2 weeks. And then we were like, we don't have any weed. And we're like, well, we still need to watch Raw. So we got into it for like 2 or 3 years then. And then I moved out to LA and then back to New York, then back to LA. And then my girlfriend, they gave her some free tickets to like a Raw. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, we should watch an episode. This is like a year ago. So we know what's going on. And then we went to the Raw and I was like, this is the most fun thing I've ever done. And then they came back and we just stayed in tune. And now we travel and see them. We went to WrestleMania and stuff. It's the best improvisers and the most athletic gymnastics combined. Like, it's amazing.
I went and saw my first live wrestling event a few months ago.
It's so much more fun than you think it could be.
Oh, dude. I went with...
you lose your mind.
I went with a few other comics, too, which made it that much better because we were all, like, just having a blast,
It's
like,
so
cracking
fun.
up.
Also, they're so much more talented than we are.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, well, you said, it's improvisers who work out.
And can do backflips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty phenomenal.
It's so
You see
fun.
them flying through the air, like,
It's so fun.
wow.
Yeah. The bad part when they do Monday Night Raw in Los Angeles is it's a Monday and it starts at 4 because it airs at 8. No, so I guess it starts at 5 because it airs at 8 East Coast time and it's live. So it's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. But that's 3 hours. And I'm drinking before because it's a pro wrestling event. It's super fun.
Sure.
And then I drink for those 3 hours. And then you get out and you're just wasted. And it's 8 o'clock on a Monday. And then I go back to Los Feliz and I'm just like hammered at like the Rustic Inn, like at like 8. And I look like a real Looney Tune, but I'm like, it's not my fault. Wrestling was in town.
was earlier than it should have been.
Some people could say it's called self-control, but I would say try going to a Monday Night Raw and not having the most fun you've ever had.
Yeah. It was, dude, I went with Adam Ray, Sal Vulcano, and then we saw...
What wrestling event was this?
Was it a SmackDown?
That would make sense. SmackDown was in like Anaheim not that long ago.
This was in downtown Los Angeles, so it might have been, was it maybe a Raw?
It would have been a Raw if it was at Staples.
It was a Staples.
So that would have been a Raw. I was at that Raw.
Yeah?
Yeah, this would have been like 4 months ago or 5 months ago.
With Cena and, Cena went against, frick, I don't even remember.
Roman Reigns or something. I don't know. Look, this is unimportant.
Anyway, it was
so
a great
fun.
time.
Yeah.
And I was with Steve Simone, who is a huge wrestling fan. And Sal was nice enough he had like backstage passes and stuff. So I got way better treatment than I should have as somebody who is like, this was my first time. So I got the like.
Right, but that makes it fun. I mean, that then you're not bugging out over wrestlers like I do when I'm backstage. Like I'm like,
Yeah, we took out our phones, like, and right away security came up and like we're like, oh, these guys don't belong here because we're like, hey, we're doing stupid Instagram posts and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to have some respect.
Yeah, well, we weren't so much.
I know I'm sure you were being respectful, but at the same time, they're like, hey, guys.
Yeah, don't do that.
These guys are warming up to go perform live.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want people backstage at a comedy show being like, hey, I'm backstage right now. Oh.
Yeah, no, that is what it is. Like, I try to play it cool. Like when I'm backstage, I do try to really play it cool and not take photos. Unless it's like somebody I know and I'm like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
But it is just because I respect it so much.
Yeah.
And I'm scared there.
Then Ronda Rousey randomly like walked in later and I was like, and she was like very like serious. I was like, oh, this is intense. Like the energy in the room changed when she walked in. She had like she had like a hoodie on and it was like,
oh, that's crazy. I sat next to Dana White at WrestleMania and got into an argument with his bodyguard.
About what?
About fucking crowding me. His bodyguard was crowding me, like literally next to him, like where it's tight quarters. We're like in the front for WrestleMania, and like his shoulder, like his body, like there were 2 seats next to me, and it was great. It was me, my girlfriend, her friend, and her boyfriend, and we're having like the best fucking time. There's 2 seats next to me, so we're kind of, we spread out a little bit because it's close quarters. Then, gosh dang, Dana White shows up with his bodyguard. and they take the 2 seats that were next to me, and his body, like I'm standing in my seat, but his bodyguard's like crowding me. He's a big fucking dude, you know, he's bodyguard for MMA dude. And like, I had to like be like, hey, like, cause everyone wanted photos with Dana White, but I personally don't give a fuck. So like his bodyguard kept pushing me out, and I just had to be like, dude, we all have the same seats. Okay. I don't care who you're with. Like, quit crowding me. Like
this is my space seat right here.
I don't give a shit if you're next to that dude. You should have bought more seats if you wanted more space. And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, he was genuinely like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I'm sorry. I was like, yeah, man, you ruined fucking WrestleMania for me. I also was pretty drunk enough to have that. And then
that kind of confidence.
And then, yeah. And then, when Ronda Rousey won, we all high-fived. It was very fun. And then he left, and I was like, and then when he left, I kept yelling, he's not a fan. He's not a real fan.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was super fun. You meet so many weirdos at those events.
Oh, dude, there are people. Well, there's still. It's funny. Like, no matter how many things are like documentaries are made, however many shows, there are people that go there that still think it's 100% real.
Oh, that one documentary is so funny. I think it's like called Beyond the Mat, where there's like a famous quote where a guy goes, "It's still real to me, damn it." Like YouTube, everyone, YouTube, it's still real to me, damn it. And it's this guy crying at like a speaking engagement for Coco Beware or something. And he's just like, I just want to thank you guys for what you put your bodies through, because it's still real to me, damn it. And he's like this 40-year-old dude, and he just starts crying. He's like, it's real. And it is.
Don't take that away from me.
It's so great. He's like, I just want to thank everyone for what they put their bodies through. It's great. I think it was I don't know what it's from, but you could definitely YouTube that moment.
All right.
It's kind of like, have you ever seen The King of Kong? The documentary about Billy Mitchell?
I've heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard it's great.
It's like my favorite documentary ever.
Really?
There's a moment you gotta watch King of Kong. It's about a guy trying to beat the Donkey Kong world record, and it's this whole crazy little world that exists we don't know about.
Did he get his title removed?
Yeah, he's been kicked out of everything because he cheated. But
he did actually cheat.
Yeah, he was a modulator. Like, he wasn't playing on a real machine. He was playing like with a little joystick, like a handheld joystick or something like that. And there's a scene in it where a guy keeps bopping around. He's this huge dork, but like lovable, and he just keeps stopping people who are playing. He's just going, there's about to be a Donkey Kong kill screen if anyone's interested, which is like a thing that only like 2 people have ever gotten. Well, more than 2, like maybe 5 people have ever gone to, but it's like on shirts and stuff where it's just this guy's face, and he's like, there's about to be a Donkey Kong kill screen. And it reminds me of It's Still Real, damn it.
Did you know, I heard that Will Forte is like a nationally ranked Kong player. Like, he's like really good, I guess.
I mean, that would add up. He's so sweet, but like I can see him just having like this weird like focus on something. Yeah. Just laser focus.
Dialed in.
Yeah.
I loved Last Man on Earth while I was on.
Yeah. I never finished it. But I mean, MacGruber is like my favorite.
Oh, man.
When I was on SNL, Last Man on Earth was starting to play, and I asked John Solomon, who created MacGruber, and Jorma Taccone, if, Jorma, John, and Will created MacGruber, and they wrote MacGruber the movie, and I was like, Forte's doing all right. So I went up to John Solomon. I was like, can we do Brooks Gruber like for SNL? Cause I'm dying. And then, he was like, yeah, let me text Will. And he's like, can Brooks be MacGruber? Like joking. And then Will just sent back at him giving me the finger. He's like, absolutely not.
You wanted Brooks Gruber?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was joking, of course. But it was a fun bit.
I mean, the amount of times that they did that sketch on SNL,
it's the best.
It would have been very funny if he would have given you the okay. But I also get at the same time where he's like, that's my character.
Also, no, Lauren would never do it. It was a joke. It would be ridiculous for me to be like, can I be Gumby? It's like basically what I was asking. Right. Can I be
Rosanna Dana tonight?
Yeah, can I just steal from someone else, even though the audience doesn't know who I am, and they'll be like, what the fuck is going on?
What's happening right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Just offended right away.
Yeah, I hate this, and I'm mad at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst first impression you could have. I've got an idea.
Yeah, I've got an idea. How about I steal from everybody? Yeah, knowingly. But that MacGruber, the movie is like, MacGruber and Hot Rod are my 2 favorite movies.
Dude, I saw Hot Rod in theaters.
Me too.
and
Yeah, no
I was
one was
one
there.
of the few.
No one was there.
Same with mine. Mine was in the middle of nowhere in like Missouri whenever I watched it.
Yeah, I was like scream laughing, applauding.
Yeah.
I remember my girlfriend came, my college girlfriend and her friend, and they were both like, "That was all right." And I was like, "That was the best thing I've ever fucking
So
seen."
good.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Just that whole sequence. The fact that that was even in a motion picture, I was just like, this is amazing.
When I first was talking with Lauren Michaels, I was like, MacGruber and Hot Rod are like two of the greatest movies I've ever seen. And he was like, well, think about making MacGruber 2. And I was like, oh, you should make Hot Rod 2. He's like, no. Because
they lost a lot of money.
well, yeah, I mean, also like it's cult. Like I was like, but every one of me and my friends loves them. He's like, the world isn't filled with 25-year-old comedians. And I was like, that's probably true. You're probably right.
Was that a weird interaction in his office, like before you got the job, or was it pretty?
Well, we had gone out to drinks before, and then I got hired to be a writer. So then I was around him a little bit as a writer before, and then I went and had like a meeting with him in his office that I was chilled because as a writer I wasn't scared of him because I never even planned on writing for that show. And then he called me into his office. He was like, "You're going to be on the show," and I was like, "Cool." I was like, "That's great." So it was like it wasn't like wasn't like a sudden like a lot of people's, you know.
Yeah, which is probably better, more organic, so you're not like freaking out. So you just went in there.
It took me like 10 weeks to start freaking out. I was like very chill for the first 10 weeks and like, it's fun. Everybody we're here. It's cool. And then like after that, when I wasn't getting on, then I started having panic attacks.
Like genuine panic attacks?
Well, just like anxiety, just crippling anxiety.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
just like freakouts and just like having to like, leave and skateboard a lot.
Around New York?
Because it's right next to 30 Rock is right next to Central Park. Mm-hmm. And I would just be like, I need to take a half-hour break. So I would skateboard around Central Park and come back just to get fresh air and listen to music.
Yeah.
And that's how I would like deal with it.
Wow.
And then, and then it's turned into me I was like, I need to drink 3 beers in my office, which was much less healthy because it was fucking cold.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you still skate?
Yeah, but a lot less in LA. I skate in like Los Feliz, but in New York, I skated everywhere.
Wow.
Because it's a flat city.
So last month, I broke my arm. Whenever I go out, I've been having to wear a sling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you break it doing?
I was dropping in and.
Oh yeah, see, I don't drop in. I can't drop in.
Yeah.
I'm an A to B skater. I'm a really bad skater.
I had the confidence, like because I just done it multiple times, and I was trying to go up a little bit higher, and I got in my head.
Confidence is most of that game.
It is. Oh, dude, if I would have stomped down a little bit harder and like had a little bit more confidence, I don't think I would have broken my arm.
No, if you have confidence, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a scaredness. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get too confident. We used to call it when I lived in Huntington Beach, for 1 year when I moved to Los Angeles from Iowa, we would call, and I was really bad at surfing. But
you were in Huntington Beach, you said, for a year?
Yeah, a year. But I lived in down there for 2 years because I had a job in Irvine.
Okay.
But we would call getting our summer confidence back when we would surf because we were scared. And then by the end of the summer, we were like,
all right, dude. Dude, we'll see you next summer, dude. This is nice.
I mean, then it just got kind of cold. It started getting dark earlier, daylight savings. Like when that kicked out, that's what we called summer. But it was like, then I also realized I was like, I'm going to get stuck down here because I love it too much. I was just smoking weed and hanging out like with these really cool guys. And I moved to California to do comedy. So this is a terrible decision to stay here. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, you get that confidence, you can do anything, but without it, you're going to break your wrist.
Yep.
How's your wrist doing? Is it all right?
So it's just like right below my elbow, but yeah, I'm at like past 5 weeks. I'm getting checked out tomorrow to see if I can stop wearing a sling out in public.
Ooh.
But they took the cast off in like 2 days. They're like, it's a clean fracture. It'll heal by itself with physical therapy.
That's cool. Who are you skating with? Who do you skate with?
I was skating with some buddies, my buddy Pat Reagan, Joel Jimenez, and David Deary.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a couple other comics. We were having a good time. And
that sounds great. Yeah. I used to skate with the Power Violence crew all the time.
Oh, cool.
We got to
like
go.
Whitmer and all those guys?
Yeah. I used to live with those guys.
Oh, okay.
Whit
cool.
And Clay and Bud. But yeah, Bud came because one time I did Ridiculousness and then asked Rob Dyrdek if I could skate the Fantasy Factory. And he said, sure. And I brought like way too many people. Like he was like, what? He's
like, huh?
No, he was really nice. Like, but I couldn't go skating at the Fantasy Factory and not bring my skating friends.
Yeah.
So when we showed up, he's like, damn, Brooks, you fucking rolled deep, man. There was like 9 of us. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And then.
Yeah, I always skate with this many people.
Well, it was like, yo, we got to go. And then I think he thought we were going to skate for like a half hour. And like, we would have been there all day if he wasn't like, did you guys have fun? You know, he was really politely like.
How long were you in there for?
Oh, like a few hours.
Well, yeah. Of course he's gonna be like, all right, guys.
No, he was so nice and reasonable. But yeah, that was like really fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, dude, the Fantasy Factory, like everything I've seen.
I used to play it on Skate, the game Skate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Dude, the Tony Hawk games growing up were
so important,
life changing.
Yeah, but the Skate game for me was infinitely more important because I was like, this is real. This is how you skate.
I never got into the Skate game.
Skate was fun. It was just harder. It was more
realistic.
realistic.
Because you actually had to flick and different.
Yeah, and I mean, you still could do insane stuff you couldn't really do, but it felt more real.
Right.
Like,
what was the soundtrack like on Skate?
There was, I don't remember the soundtrack because we played it so much in college.
I feel like the Tony Hawk soundtrack was just so iconic.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Here I am doing everything I can.
It definitely wasn't that level because Skate is a lot more just milling around. It's just like chilling. Like I would be like stressed out and be like, I just need to go for a skate. And like you skate around at this game. I don't remember the soundtrack, but at the same time I was in college when we were listening to music. Like we would play it on mute and listen to the music we wanted to listen to anyway.
Like at NBC, you're just like, guys, I gotta decompress for a second. I gotta go skate. And
I
you
would
just go to
do
your
that.
office
No,
and drink
I would do
beer
that with
and play skate.
I played that with Grand Theft Auto 5. I bought.
You just walk around the town and
I would drive around in a 4-wheeler. Yeah. I remember Tim Robinson came in to watch me play Grand Theft Auto 5 one time, and I was just driving through the desert in Grand Theft Auto 5. He's like, "What are you doing in this game, man?" I go, "I'm just going for a drive." Like.
I liked Tim Robinson on the show.
I like Tim Robinson as a human being. Yeah, he's amazing. Detroiters. Everybody should watch Detroiters. It's his show right now where he gets to be Tim Robinson and he's incredibly funny in it.
Yeah, it's great.
He helped me out a lot. We wrote a bunch of sketches that got 2 of them got cut for time. 1 of them got on.
What was your first sketch that got on?
I wrote it with Tim Robinson and Zach Cannon. I had done a Weekend Update before, but the first sketch I got on was called, in one of the few, it was called Critter Control, where I played a...
Were you an event or something?
Yeah, I played a guy who came... There was an office... This is the type of sketches that I would come up with, and then Tim and Zach would blow out, make them way funnier. But it was a guy who... A critter control guy comes in, looks in a vent to try to like just take care of a problem. But when he looks in the vent, he sees a bunch of possums, goes and gets his buddy to show him, who's Ed Norton. And then we get tricked by the possums and pulled into the wall and murdered. So yeah, it was pretty, normal stuff.
I've seen you on stage do a great story about your dad and a possum, right?
My dad and a possum. Yeah, I auditioned with that story. And I think that's why I got SNL. Because I just auditioned with stand-up, and the possum story is like, I think Lauren dug it because it just showed that that I'm not a rich kid and my dad's crazy. He like digs it. He's like, so where do you come from, performers? I was like, no, man, I'm from the fucking woods. He's like, oh, cool.
Interesting story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Possums are my go-to when I wrote another sketch that I liked for a white elephant party, where you get a surprise.
Yeah.
You give away stuff. I always was writing about animals where like Keenan got a Snuggie and he liked it. And then I opened up my present. It was 3 baby owls. I was like, God damn it. I know this is from you, Sir Pippington. And it was John Goodman dressed like in a long silver mane in a wheelchair with an owl cane. I was like, I know these are your owls. He's like, who could know? Yeah. And then I'm like, just dude, fucking take your owls back. I don't know how to take care of these owls. He's like, they're very easy as long as you live in a bell tower next to a field riddled with game. Like, I was like, just stop it. Take your owls. And then he didn't want them. And then he went forward and he got a $25 gift certificate to Applebee's. And he was really mad because the limit was $30. So he wanted his owls back, but I'd grown attached to them. That one was funny. It never got on.
That's a quality sketch. I would have loved to see John Goodman and playing that character.
Yeah, playing Sir Pippington.
You playing is so real. Like, I don't want these baby owls.
Yeah, and it's just like, we're all normal office workers that work with a wizard or a guy who has owls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
was great.
Solid. I wrote another sketch with Tim and we were to talk about SNL this much. It's been forever. Wrote a sketch with Tim and Zach that didn't make it on. That was really funny about that I auditioned with this character who was a shy bodybuilder. Like he would pose and then he'd be ashamed about it. He'd be like, I'm sorry I did that. Like, but did you like it? Like,
was that like good enough?
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, he never even talked. I would just flex and then just close my eyes and be like, oh my God. We wrote a little kid bodybuilding sketch where it was a little kid bodybuilding competition called Little Buff Boys. And Kenan Thompson was the judge, but it's clear he had been in trouble before. So he kept being like, I'm keeping my distance. And
Dude,
then
Kenan can make any sketch funny.
And
it's
then
ridiculous.
He closed out the sketch by playing a song at random from his iPod, and it was I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men. He was like, oh, dang it. So he just singing I'll Make Love to You while we pose as little boys.
Yeah.
That was pretty so. Yeah. And we wrote this sketch one time. That one was supposed to be on, it got cut for time. The other one that was supposed to be on, it got cut for time.
Is it harder to go through that whenever it's cut for time because you're so close?
I had it happen 4 times.
Or is it worse to not get anything?
No, it sucked so much. It's nice to think you're having it in, but I had 4 sketches that were cut for time, and I only got 6 sketches on total. So I had 10 that made it to the air that was supposed to be before those were cut for time, and that is just, it's like the last time I went and cried in the bathroom for like just a lot for like an hour, like because it was like second to last episode. I knew I needed it to get on. It was one where me and Kenan and I had written it just with Kenan, which was cool. Where we had a radio show, but it was a barbecue radio show. So most of the radio show was just us being like, "This is so good." Like, and then a phone would be like, call us. We cannot answer the phone. Our hands are saturated with sauce right now. It was really dumb, really stupid, but fun. We wore white suits and we kept getting them ruined. Of like, oh Lord, my white suit. And that one, I was dressed fully like Colonel Sanders, and they got cut for time, and I had to like pull the wig off and go wave goodnight or whatever. And I think I was just like almost crying. But the funniest one that got cut for time in my brain was the one, it was a Christmas episode. It was the only non-Christmas sketch for that whole episode, where me and Jimmy Fallon played the guys who captured King Kong in the movie. But it was, because in the movie, they captured King Kong, and then the next scene, he's on Broadway. So we wrote the scene where we pitch putting him on Broadway. And I'm in a neck brace because King Kong's been raping me. Yeah, and at the end, Kong roars, and I put on lipstick. I'm like, I know what he wants, And it was so funny, and that got cut for the Christmas episode, which was a real bummer. And then when a sketch gets cut for time, they say we'll do it next week, and then that never happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's those half-filled promises are like, yeah, we'll be in touch.
I remember like going up and being like, hey, I'd like to resubmit Broadway, because we called it Broadway. We didn't call it King Kong's raping Brooks. And the script,
the parentheticals of the sketch.
Yeah, the producer guy was like, what was that one? I was like, God damn it, no one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, it was a weird time, but we wrote some funny stuff. Bottom line, Tim Robinson and Zach Cannon were the guys I wrote with the most, and they made the show Detroiters, so people should watch that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's super funny.
Let's get into this next segment.
Yeah.
Fanning out.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
Got a few questions here from people who
and
reached
sorry I
out.
went on that tangent there. I just remembered how funny those sketches were. I was like, oh, those are great.
What's funny is that was actually one of the questions that somebody asked. Was like,
okay,
was there a sketch that you wrote that didn't get on that you thought was funny? So that's perfect.
Those sketches, what the worst part is, they exist on the server at SNL. Like, so there's
they sometimes, I've noticed that sometimes, like, I'll see on YouTube.
They just started doing Cut for Times, which the barbecue sketch is up, but I don't like the Cut for Times because what happens in the dress rehearsal is we write a long sketch. It's like 5.5 minute sketch.
Yeah.
And then we cut it to like 3 for live for the airing. So they put up the dress rehearsal sketch in the Cut for Times, which is like 2.5 minutes too long.
Right.
Which I'm like, it was called Touch of Heat, which was our barbecue radio show. I was like, it's drags forever. The live show would have been great for this.
Yeah, it would have been way condensed.
We cut every joke that didn't work. That's the point of a dress rehearsal. You cut jokes that don't work.
Yeah.
So I don't like we recorded it, but I'm like, it's not finished yet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a rough draft on what's
It's a
about.
rough draft. Yeah. So they put a rough draft out and people are like, that wasn't any good. I'm like, I know, we fixed it.
I know we rewrote like that. That's
yeah,
the whole point
that's
of
why
doing
we did
the
a
dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, that was, so they do put those up, but there's a server at SNL. That's my favorite thing to look at. They have every dress and every live performance from 1975.
Oh
So
my
when I
goodness.
when I showed, and you can only get it right there. So when I showed up like day one, I was like Nirvana's dress rehearsal when they hosted with Charles Barkley, when they played with Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
And you just see them going nuts for dress rehearsal. You can see their like Thursday warm ups. It's so insane. It's got just everything saved on this. Like,
How big is this server?
I mean, it's just connected to your computer,
Yeah.
so you can access it anywhere.
Oh, it's like on their network or
Yeah,
whatever.
when I
Gotcha.
left, I pulled some cool stuff onto my flash drive. I pulled like, I pulled the Little Buff Boys. I pulled the King Kong Had Been Raping Me sketch. I pulled Chris Farley, the dress rehearsal of his final.
What was it? I mean,
It was amazing. It was
Yeah.
the dress rehearsal. So the dress rehearsal of his final time hosting SNL, which has, an extra 5 sketches that were never aired. That was really fun. I pulled like the first ever dress rehearsal of like, sorry, I smacked. I hate when people do that. The first ever dress rehearsal of like, when he did Matt Foley, just all that stuff. I had it all on
Yeah.
this really dope USB drive, and it was like pretty. I showed my friends in Iowa. We like watched that. I mean, this is after I was on. I'm still a fan of the show, and I lost it. I was like, but I could bop up there and grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so cool though.
it was neat.
I actually never heard of that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I would stay early when I still liked being in 30 Rock and just watch old episodes because I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, just consume it. You're
I was
just
like, I didn't know this was here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
Endless
You could watch
amount.
everybody's auditions, like people who didn't even make it.
What?
Yeah, you could look up anybody's
What?
audition ever.
That's mind blowing to
Yeah.
me. Did you ever look at like friends that you knew that auditioned? Like, I know.
No, I didn't want to look at anybody. I watched Fortes because I was such a fan of Fortes and it was really
Yeah.
funny. But I never watched mine because I didn't like it. But no, I didn't want. It
It's
was
so weird that they have. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they tape it, so
I mean,
they're going to put it on the
stored.
server.
Yeah, they're just stored in there, and it's not like it's available for anyone. Like I found it. I dug and found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe I should have been writing instead of digging around in the servers. Maybe that's where I went wrong. Man, I haven't been on that show. I'm sorry I talked about it so much.
No, dude. I mean, I'm a fan of the show, so it's
Yeah, I feel like it's
enjoyable
interesting
story.
stuff, and I'm not bitching about it.
No, well, it seems like you have a very good attitude about it. You know what I mean?
It took me 4 years to get that attitude of like, yeah, it was a cool experience.
It was a little rough right after
Oh,
it
I was
happened.
furious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it's one of those situations where it's like you're wanting to be able to, continue to prove yourself to do what you can
Right.
do on the show.
Well, also I was like, this show's not going to define me, and fuck this, I'm never going to talk about it. So I never talk about it when I do stand up, but then on podcasts, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it, but like, it's fun to reminisce when I'm not getting grilled on it to be like, yeah, these are fun. And it's really just highlighting my friends who are great writers.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Mike DeVore on Instagram. Brooks, you ever think about making another video where you record a second for an entire year?
No, I don't.
Was it super time consuming?
No, it wasn't super time consuming at all. But that video was done just to spite a girl. like a girl had broken up with me, and I was like, I'm gonna have a fucking dope year. I'm gonna travel around. And it's also, I would feel like, honestly, I didn't feel bad making that video because when I made that video, I was a biomedical engineer. I still had a full-time job. So like, for the first half of that video, I'm like around LA hustling. And then the second half is just happened to be the year that I got on SNL. So the second half is I'm on SNL. So I feel like it'd be like kind of braggadocious now that I am like, a traveling comedian and I don't have a real job to be like, look how fun my life is.
Right.
Because I do travel everywhere and have a great time. So I think it would just be a little braggy.
That makes sense.
Versus before I didn't feel bad because I wasn't successful at all.
Right, you're
I
just doing your normal day job, and then it's like the big arc of it is you.
Yeah, it's just me skating for the first half of the first half of it is me skating, and then the second half is just me sat inside 30 Rock. Yeah, like my friends at like Tim Robinson was like, that video shows how much SNL sucks because before this you had a great life, and then it just turns into you in this building all the time. But I did the next year, I did a more personal thing. I took a photo a day and wrote a paragraph about that day for a full year.
Yeah.
I just try to honestly journal and remember everything.
Yep.
So I have a folder of a photo I took every day for a full year.
I've been doing daily journal entries since I moved to Los Angeles. I'm behind like about 35 days right now because I haven't been able to write with my arm.
That'll happen, yeah.
But yeah. But since I moved to LA, and it's been great. It's like super.
It's great. It's thought clearing.
Yeah.
It's anxiety. It reduces anxiety because you
Yeah.
just get all your thoughts out there. But yeah, I did a photo a day, and that was fun. But I mean, I'll never put it anywhere. It's also
Right.
me and my ex-fiance, so it's not super fun to look at.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, check out this fun year.
Yeah. At Alice_Rose on Instagram. Did you ever get that Dave Matthews Band tattoo removed?
It's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It's Red
There
Hot
you
Chili
go.
Peppers, Rage Against the Machine, and Cottonmouth Kings are the three people. But it's Red Hot Chili Peppers, and no, I never got it removed because I showed it on national TV and making fun of it. So I feel like now I've shown
you've
that
addressed it now.
I've addressed that I'm self-aware. It's not cool.
You've conquered it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I'll never get rid of it because I'm like, these are mistakes I have to live with, and I'm like, yeah, what am I gonna do?
Dude, I think Anthony Kiedis is actually calling in right now, dude.
Are you fucking serious?
Hello, Anthony?
Hey Brooks, how you doing now?
Dude, I am such a fan.
Dude, it's nice to know that you still have a tattoo of our band on your body.
It's not of a band, it's of the exact tattoo that you have on your arm. I copied you. I'm sorry, Anthony.
Oh my god, that's even better.
Yeah, I have the Fleur de Lis tribal armband tattoo. I got it when I was 17 it was in Galena, Illinois, because they would allow me younger. So thank you for the inspiration.
Absolutely, you're making me so proud.
Yeah, no, the only difference is you're strong and I never got strong. Like, how's that heroin diet? You look shredded.
Heroin is so good.
Yeah, I mean, I got to do heroin, I think, just by the looks of your body.
You gotta do me heroin every time I'm doing it, dude.
Yeah, I'm just so jealous of how
Heroin
fit you
and
look.
tattoos are very good a combination.
I agree. You look great. And I really, want to say thank you for being such a huge impression on my young 17-year-old mind that I thought I should get a tattoo of a tribal armband that will never grow out of style.
Hey Brooks, that's a nice story.
Yeah. I mean, what I learned from your tattoos is don't go subtle.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Go big or go home, Brooks.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Nice to be an inspiration for a great comedian such as yourself.
Thank you so much. I was at now I'm embarrassed when I see members of your band because I've publicly trashed them on television.
Wait, have you been talking about my friend Flea?
No, I just trashed your band. And then Flea lives in my neighborhood, and I'm really scared to ever be like I'm a fan because I honestly said that your band sucks on television one time.
Well, it's not the first time I've heard that before.
I don't believe it though. I was saying what I needed to say to get on television.
Trying to get the cheap laughs, I get it.
I'm embarrassed I did it, but now when I do see Flea, I can't be like I'm a fan and I've talked shit.
That would be contradictory.
I
It's
know.
good that you're a stand-up person and you're not gonna do that.
Can I tell you about a cool story that my friends saw you do?
Okay.
So Flea, Flea, your friend.
Of course I know Flea.
He owns the Silver Lake Music Conservatory.
Yeah.
It's on Sunset. And my friends were walking from Bar Bandini right down Sunset, and they heard the Red Hot Chili Peppers, your band, playing, right? In this little parking lot. And you were there. Mm-hmm. And so was your new guitarist. I can't think of what his name is. And Chad Smith and Flea. And you were playing a graduation ceremony for these kids that went to Flea's school. And I just thought that was really nice of you guys.
Sometimes we give back to the community.
I think that's so amazing. I didn't see it. I was mad that my friends didn't text me because I don't live far from there. But man, it sounds like you guys are real stand-up dudes.
We are. So keep you doing your heroin so you can look like me.
I gotta get on that heroin fucking diet, man.
All right, we just lost Anthony Kiedis. I can't have somebody promoting heroin on the show.
You know what's nuts? This was like Sunday. I was in Boston at this place called the Barking Crab, and I was having like a drink with my girlfriend, and I was saying how nice the day was. There was a band there just playing covers. And I was like, this is such a nice day. And the band started covering Under the Bridge, and I was like, it got better. Like,
what's happening right now?
I still love Under the Bridge. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's a dope song.
Dude, I love every time I fly, I listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Really?
Every time I fly, it puts me in such a good mood, and like I'll listen to. I have a weird mix whenever I fly. Like I'll listen to like Enya to put me to sleep.
Oh wow!
Or I'll listen to like Red Hot Chili Peppers, or like it's all like best of, or like best of Muse, or it's like random stuff.
What's the weirdest band that you got into for a little while, and then when you came out the other side, you're like, what was that all about? I'll give you an example. So I loved this band Noah and the Whale for like a year.
Yeah.
I was listening to them on repeat. And then when I came out the other side, I was like, oh my gosh. I was in a weird headspace.
What was I thinking?
Same with the...
Okay, I got one.
Yeah, see what I mean?
Okay, I got one.
That's what I mean.
Do you remember the band Crazy Town?
Yes.
Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come my lady, you're my pretty baby, you'll make my legs shake, you make me go crazy. Come on little sugar mama, take a dance with me. Like, dude, so
you knew other songs by that?
I knew other, I don't remember them now, but like I would listen to the other tracks. I'm like, other people don't even know about these.
Yeah, that's like when you're little.
You know,
when you're
like,
little and you think, like, I loved Sum 41. I was like, I'm going to know everything about Sum 41.
Dude, okay. I hate to admit this, but like I'll still put on some Sum 41 whenever I'm feeling like
Fat Lip is awesome.
It's amazing.
It's a really great song.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah. I also loved Power Man 5000 a lot.
Yeah.
Because in my little head brain, I was like, my older brothers love Rob Zombie, and Rob Zombie has a little brother, and his band is called Power Man 5000. So that's Power Man 5000 is for little brothers.
I think we just lost video for a second.
Oh, we definitely just lost video.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this next segment.
I mean, do you want to fix that, or is it just dead? Should we just tell him to come listen to the end of it, rest of it on this guy?
Let's get into our next segment, and then I'll break for a second. This is our final segment of the show.
Okay, very exciting.
Sax Talk.
Sax Talk. Okay.
Sax Talk. So, Sax Talk, I briefed you before. You're going to share a story of a
sexual escapade.
And I'm going to play some sweet saxophone underneath and accompany it.
I love when saxophone is played within a foot of me. That's how I like to enjoy it.
I mean, that's how most people like it, is a saxophone to be played like near their face.
Yeah.
Near their ear holes. It's
hole.
one of those, really soothing. It's not piercing at all at times.
If
instruments.
anybody walked in, and it would look like you've held me hostage, because you're playing saxophone at me in front of a photo of yourself, and it just looks crazy. And I'm just like, all right, tell me about sex. Do do do. That's how I do a sax impression. Do 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 do.
The Seinfeld theme.
See, you're already better. Yeah, no, I'm just saying everything for me is like a guitar. Do 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 do. That's not even a guitar. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's like a double dragon theme. All right, you want to knock this out?
Yeah.
Oh, you're putting it towards the saxophone and everything. Oh, good. Really crank that into everybody's ears. All right. So this is just the story of the first time I fingered a lady. Yeah. It was in 8th grade, and it was in Iowa, and it was cold, and I got to third base, I guess is what it is, with this lady. It was really wonderful, and she was so kind to allow it to happen. And it was very cool. And afterwards I told her, like, thanks, like I was what a movie we watched, like Fast and the Furious or something. Yeah, Fast and the Furious. And then I was like, that was awesome. And I'm gonna go home now. And I put on some leather gloves that I had worn because it was cold in Iowa to go home. Yeah, and then I walked like a mile back to my house. And I lived kind of near the woods, like in the woods a little bit. And when I got to my house, I I took these gloves off, and the smell of vagina had really gotten into the leather. Yeah, it's a strong smell if you've never smelled it, vagina before. It's very potent. Yeah. Like now as an adult, I appreciate it, but as a 7th grader or 8th grader, you're like, what the, oh no. Yeah, you're very nervous that everyone in the house can smell it that you live in. So what I did was I took these gloves out into the woods and dug a hole and buried them so that my mom would never find out. Yeah, and that's a very real story. And I thought recently when I was back in Iowa about digging them up just to prove that story, and because I know where they're buried. But then I realized I was like, I don't really want to be digging around there, because it's where we used to bury our cats when our cats died. I don't want to hit a cat. Yeah, so there's some tiny child gloves. Also, if I found those gloves, I would like look at them and see how small I was and just be like, oh man, you were too young to be doing this. No wonder you're messed up. So I guess it wasn't very sexual. It was just kind of a anecdote I have about the first time I had a sexual experience with a fine young lady. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm bad at inflections, so I think I just kept it mellow, and I think the saxophone helped bring home the sexiness of that.
Man, ooh, was that a sexy, sexy story?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's very sexy.
I mean, I think people got their engines straight up revved right now.
Yeah, we're hearing about how I buried gloves like I was fucking...
Buried middle school gloves.
What if I couldn't think of O.J. Simpson's name? Like, what's that guy's name?
Football player.
Mr. Simpson. Oh, gosh, darn it.
Mr. Smoothie? No,
yeah,
that's not it.
Banana Simpson.
What is it?
B.J. Simpson.
B.J.
Armstrong. It was
B.J. Sampson.
B.J. Armstrong from the Chicago Bulls
That's
murdered
right.
his ex-wife and her boyfriend.
That's right. That's what it was.
Her boyfriend, Cato Kalin. No, not Cato.
No.
Her boyfriend...
Terry Schiavo. No. Okay.
Yes. B.J. Armstrong murdered his ex-wife and she was with Terry Schiavo. We got there together.
We got it.
Yes.
Brooks, thanks so much for doing the pod, man. Anything you want to plug?
I have a podcast called Entry Level. Listen to it. It's fun. I interview people, Jeremiah, you should come on sometime, about all the jobs that they had before they became comedians.
Oh, I love it.
So it's like a lot of ridiculous... Comedians have never cared about their jobs. Mm-hmm. So it's real nuts. We've had some good guests like Bobby Moynihan and Kyle Mooney and Taron Killam and Reggie Watts, Paul Scheer. It's a bunch of fun guys telling stories about how they were terrible as young kids at their jobs.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It's super funny. Check it out.
Check it out. Thanks so much for
I'm
coming
going
by.
on tour.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be doing stand-up like all over America.
What's your website?
BrooksWheelan.com.
Go to brookswheelan.com and come see Brooks at a local comedy club near you.
Yeah, and I also do want to thank Anthony Kiedis, Slash, and Scott Stapp, and God for taking time out of their busy schedules to call in.
I mean, the reach of this podcast always blows my mind, but I think it helped that we had Brooks Wheelan on today.
I'll take it. You know, I'm not going to disagree.
Jeremiah Wonders, Jeremiah.